The first half of the regular season comes to a close tonight in Sacramento. It's the Lakers and Kings coming up at 7 p.m. right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. The Lakers have won the last 4 meetings, not held in the bubble, but tonight will be unlike any of those games, too. So we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the Hall of Famer, big game, James Worthy, 7-time champ, big shot, Robert Horry. It's a full house. Trudell is here, Brez is here, Geeter will be here in just a little bit. Rob, someone has finally listened to you. You ready?
They told him the wrong time?
No. You ready for this news? I know you already know. All right, fellas, we've been asking for it all season, and the day is here. LeBron James will finally have a night off this season. He is out for tonight's game versus the Sacramento Kings because he's dealing with some left ankle soreness. This marks the first game of the season that he will miss. And Ron, again, let's just start with you. It's coming a week late. It took a little bit for them to hear you, but he's taking some time.
You know, sometimes you need a little time to reflect and recharge that battery. And the way LeBron James is playing this year, he needs a little time and to reflect. And I'm trying to make sure he ain't coming through that door because he don't like for us to say that about him. But, you know, you got to understand this. Like, we're looking out for you. We're looking out for your best interest. More importantly, we're looking out for the Lakers' best interest because if you get that rest, you're going to be better down the stretch. I know you want to play for the fans, and we admire you for that. We know you want to play for, you know, the Lakers fans and everything, but your body breaks down. I can tell you that. James can tell you that. You know, we've been to the playoffs so many times, and no playoff games might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it adds up when you're a guy who's playing 30 minutes a game at that age. So trust me. Thank you for taking a night off.
Big game.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% with you, Rob. And I don't know if anybody else saw this in his post-game interview, but I caught LeBron yarning right in the middle of the interview. Did anybody else see that?
The post-game last night?
He was like, oh, he's tired. He's sleepy. And I'm just teasing. He's in great shape, but nevertheless, the body and time is undefeated. You're not going to beat that, especially in the NBA. So I'm glad that he's resting. He's got to go down to Atlanta for the All-Star. That's just added travel. But I'm glad he's taking some time, and I hope he, you know, reboots, recalculates, because if anybody deserves a little rest, it's LeBron James.
And you certainly think that having that all-star appearance probably weighs in a little bit to this decision. But he's not the only one that will be out tonight. In addition, in case you forgot, let's remind you, Marc Gasol will be out due to health and safety protocol. AD remains out with that calf strain. And then you see Alex Caruso and Kyle Kuzma both listed on here as game time decisions. Alex Caruso dealing with those neck spasms last night late in the game, and Kyle Kuzma missing last night against the Suns due to that right heel contusion. Big game. I do say this, though. I know that it's kind of balancing what's going on in the mind right now. They know what's on the horizon, the All-Star break, time to reset. But there's also still an opportunity tonight for a lot of guys to get some run, an opportunity to continue to still build those habits and finish strong going into the break.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaching staff obviously hates injuries, having Schroeder out when he was out, AD out, Kuz, now Caruso doubtful. I'm sure they hate that. But it also gives them a chance to teach other players, like, you know, not teach veterans, but give guys an opportunity to get some run and get used to the rhythm. A lot of these guys are getting to play with LeBron and some of the starters like Wes Matthews and Morris. And so you never know when you're going to need them in the future down the stretch. So get in this run. They're not getting a lot of practice time, not a lot of quality practice time, so it's kind of on the fly. So, yeah, this is a game that's winnable. You know, when LeBron's not on the floor, they play. They play like a college team almost. They move, they play hard. So, yeah, it'll be nice if they could get one going out. Rob?
Oh, it'd be extremely nice. It'd be extremely nice for some other guys to do this right here.
Eat?
Yes, because, you know, you think about it. A lot of times when you're playing with dynamic players like AD and LeBron, you don't get those shots up, so you don't get a rhythm. It's a different type of rhythm when you can get a bunch of quality shots up and not just, you know, get some sparing shots up. And think about it. Every time Whereas this boy KK starts, he puts up big numbers. And so that lets you know he knows he's going to have an abundance of shots, good shots, and so he can play good basketball. So I'm really excited to see what THT can do. I'm really excited to see what KCP can do, because now with LeBron being out, KCP is going to have to create his own shot, not just depend on running to the corner and shooting the three. So I'm excited to see what these guys can do offensively and not just be go stand at the three-point line and shoot it. So I'm excited.
Well, the Lakers will look to finish the first half of the season on a high note tonight in Sacramento, but they will be shorthanded, as we just mentioned, with LeBron James missing his first game of the season. So for the latest, let's check in with Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. He's standing by with more. Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Around the Corner. And look, Allie, what Rob just said, that is exactly what I put to Frank Vogel. This is the chance, right, to rally around the flag, as it were, where more field goal attempts are going to be available, not just with LeBron and AD, but even Marc Gasol. So that's three starters, your three big rotation players on the defensive side of the floor there. So we started, though, just by kind of thinking, okay, who's in, who's out, and how is the lineup going to look, since he doesn't yet know about Kuz and Caruso. So here's what Frank told us, and then he got into Rob's point after that.
If Kuz plays, he'll start. Our hopeful starting lineup would be Dennis, KCP, Kuz, Keith, and we're going to start Damian Jones and bring Trez in his normal role off the bench in a bigger minute role. It's something we talked about, Trez and I, this morning about, even when Mark is out, he still prefers to come off the bench. So we thought about doing this last game, didn't know if Damian Jones was going to play. So we just kind of went into the game with the mindset that Trez was going to start. But, talking today, he has to come off the bench, prefers that way. So we'll start Damian.
Frank, you've talked about this equation the other way around, when some other teams have come in against you and not had their guys, and maybe it's an opportunity to rally around the flag and sort of play bigger than that. We saw it also once last year in OKC. Is that something that you talk about, or something that you can anticipate in any way and have some guys excited for the opportunity?
Yeah, it's kind of all we talked about since last night's game ended, that this is an opportunity for us. These are the fun games. You get one or two of these throughout the course of the season where you got a lot of guys out, or you got a couple of key guys out, and everybody gets to play, bigger minutes and have more offensive opportunities and whatnot. And a lot of times they end up being the more fun games of the year. Like you said, we've seen that against us this year with teams having guys out and giving us a run for our money. But the game that sticks out in our mind was when the last time we played without Anthony and LeBron last year was at OKC, and we had a 30-point lead at halftime, because guys just played team-first basketball and, embraced that type of opportunity. We talked about that in the film session today, and plenty of our guys reminded Dennis that, we did do that to him and his team last year. So we had a good laugh over that, and our guys are excited about getting after it tonight.
Sure, Dennis enjoyed that memory. Frank, when was the decision made to kind of do this with LeBron? And I guess, he's been so kind of defiant against just the general notion of fatigue. Have you sensed that he needed this?
For sure. We've had a mindset to encourage him to take a game off if needed, but to support him if he wants to be in there. And he's always said if his body feels good, he wants to play. He's pretty banged up right now, in particular soreness in the ankle, and so we took this opportunity to keep him home for this game.
All right, so there you have it. And by the way, guys, we'll get to you once we find out about Kuzma for sure. And no matter what, Allie, Jared Dudley will be coming up. So you're going to have to, stay tuned for that.
Oh, no doubt. That's always going to be a fun one. Well done, as always. Thanks so much, Mike.
All right, guys.
You heard Frank say Damian Jones will get the start, his first of the season. He's a perfect 5 for 5 from the field as a Laker. Good percentage. Lakers and Kings are coming up at 7 here on Spectrum Sportsnet. And coming up, we'll look back at the best plays from the first half of the season from the purple and gold.
By the Lake Show. Bounce to LeBron!